For the Clippers, we've got Patrick Beverley. Kawhi Leonard is out there with Morris. Then it's Paul George. And it's Zubac in at the 5, roaming the paint. Now here's James. Pass to Davis. Outside for Caldwell Pope. Second shot opportunity. Here's McGee, and it's McGee with the jam.
That's what he gives you, a big-time presence on the glass.
And you know what, Greg? Once he gets his hands on it, he's not even thinking about kicking it out.
Well, his competitiveness right now is why the teammates love him.
And it's George missing. The Lakers have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. A superstar summer, Greg, for the Los Angeles Clippers in Kawhi Leonard and in Paul George. Greg, they have 2 elite wings, great defenders in their prime.
Give them credit, but also Kawhi Leonard pushing the levers behind the scenes. He wanted another superstar to join him in recruiting Paul George, who still had 2 years left on his deal in OKC. Kawhi took unprecedented control of his free agent destiny.
Beverley, the pass to Zubac, and foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. It's on JaVale McGee. The Clippers shooting their first free throws of the game on this trip to the line.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And the first one at the line is good. With the playoffs around the corner, Brent, some teams already making vacation plans. Talk about the disappointment that those kinds of teams are feeling right now.
Yeah, you start the beginning of training camp with ideas of wanting to play into the postseason, and you know the realization of that goal is not going to be met. And what you want to do is remember your opportunity as a player, Kevin, to go out and still compete. You might not be back with the team that you're playing the end of the season with, the last 10 games. Maybe you're somewhere else. But there are teams, as we've always said, still watching you. And so don't ever get away from the idea of the competition as the season winds down.
They always say the eye in the sky doesn't lie. Everything is on tape. Right?
Yeah, and they are assessing how it is that you approach that, because you show your stripes when things are not going well. What kind of character do you have?
Now George, following the three-point attempt by Anthony Davis. And George kicks to Beverley. Clock at 6. To the middle. Here's Zubac. And the dunk by Zubac.
Well, it's the golden age of point guards, and Patrick Beverley trying to show that he belongs amongst them. Great awareness on that play.
LeBron outside. Ball's knocked loose. And no good. And the Clippers will come the other way. The last time these two clubs came together was also in this building, with an unfortunate ending for the home team.
Yeah, and their last time playing against this club, they fell short. A lot of cheap fouls really plagued their starting unit.
But I'm sure they learned their lesson from that game. They know they can't afford to have their first unit unavailable when the game is at critical junctures this time around.
Here's LeBron. Paul George making his last shot. That one falls.
What vision by LeBron, always willing to give up the ball. They're just hitting a wide open teammate.
Clippers have gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. We're about 3 minutes into this first quarter. Here's Leonard. Goes back up. And that's 2 points on the layup.
Well, on nights where Kawhi Leonard piles up some points, he can make a big mark because of the offensive rebounding prowess.
James against Beverley. Now here's James. Saw him with 29 points last game. He goes right over Marcus Morris and slams it down.
Never get tired of LeBron James in the air doing wonderful things.
Bounce pass from Beverley. Shoots a fader. And good, as it just snugs right down through the net.
He was wide open, but just to make sure, he put a little fade on that jumper.
And here's James outside. The Clippers grab the miss.
And I thought that was going to drop. It looked good from here.
Green against George. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
James against Beverly. Outside for Caldwell Pope. Yes, it's James picking up the assist. Caldwell Pope's got 5 now.
Yeah, defenses beware. You have to close out hard on KCP and disrupt his rhythm.
Beverly against Green. This is it to Zubac. George, no good.
I'll be honest, I thought there's no way that he's missing that close. That's a bunny. Give it up for the aggressive defense, Kevin.
And they double up James. Now the pass to McGee. Outside for Caldwell Pope. The Lakers rebound. Davis. McGee. It's good on the putback.
And folks, he did not luck into that one. He knew just where he wanted to be to grab that backboard.
James against Beverly. From past the arc. Here's Leonard. McGee with the block. And they get it back. And the shot goes down. And so James will bring it up for the Los Angeles Lakers. They trail by 1. Tough loss coming against the Rockets in the last game they played. And Davis throws it down.
That's a perfect lob leading to a spectacular dunk from Davis there. Threw it up on time, on target.
Now Beverly. He picked up 15 points in their last win against Golden State. The shot by George, wide open. Knocks down the 3-ball. He's got 7.
Now that basket must be widening out right now, Kevin. He's making almost every shot he's putting up this quarter.
Well, for so much of what Paul George brings to the table, you have to start with his defensive impact. He is one of the top defenders in the league at his position, if not the best.
You look at George with all he does, Greg, you sometimes forget how good his perimeter defense is.
Well, I mean, his teammates and coaches won't ever forget about the impact he has on that end. Even when George isn't scoring or the shot isn't falling, he is still a monster on the floor just with his defense alone.
And the first one drops.
I just wonder for teams that are playing against Anthony Davis, 48 minutes of that kind of length out on the floor, he just becomes an imposing player defensively.
And so Anthony Davis nails both of them. You know, Brett, we know guys love really jawing at each other. What was your criteria for issuing a double technical for trash talk?
Yeah, in today's game, it's kind of like it could be a whisper or a wink, you know, the way that they
It's
look
both
at it.
sides, doesn't it?
And they just try to curtail anything that could escalate, Kevin. That's really what the referees are doing. As soon as they see some kind of body movement or see guys starting that way, they want to cut it off before anything else happens. So the criteria is a little bit confusing. Sometimes I like to see them getting after a little bit. His touch has left him in this quarter. Nowhere close to the kind of output they need from him.
Wasted no time on that one. Now it's a 4-point Clipper lead.
D has been just completely helpless and turned around. He's so dangerous when he's in this kind of rhythm.
Here's Green. Kawhi Leonard making his last shot. Out of bounds, the Clippers take possession. And with this opportunity, we can show you this season's top shot blocking teams. The Lakers, number 1.
And sometimes a team will get one guy who can block. Other times a guy finds ways to get others involved in blocking. It can be contagious. If he can do it, why not me? Then all of a sudden you look up and you're leading the league in block.
And the baseline jumper, no good. Lakers trail by 4. Caldwell Pope feeling it out a bit. McGee with it. Taking a look at his numbers, he averages about 7 points a game. Just 5 to shoot. James has a two-pointer. They grab their own miss. Big D that time from Leonard.
And the effort never stops with him. No easy shots when he's on the floor.
Well, it's about the defensive end, and that's what guys feed off. He gives the effort down there at all times.
And again, the Lakers no good.
Just cannot get anything to go. If there's going to be a way to get out of this hole, I don't think he'll be the one to do it.
Many thought the Raptors or Lakers would land Kawhi, but in the end, he came to the Clippers to write his own legacy. Returning to Southern Cal, where he grew up, was a big part of his decision. The big surprise was how Kawhi was out recruiting other stars behind the scenes to join him with the Clippers.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
That free throw, no good. And a big summer for the Lakers, trading for Anthony Davis. For a time, Greg, it even looked like they had a great shot at landing Kawhi Leonard.
He ends up choosing the Clippers, which gives rise to a compelling rivalry. The nexus of NBA basketball has shifted to the city of Angels. Whichever team you root for, LA fans with a lot to celebrate.
And he's good on the second.
Well, we've seen it. We've seen Kawhi Leonard mature and improve right before our very eyes. But one area where he was already pretty good was coming in at the free throw line.
And the Lakers decide to take their first time out here.
And they just can't seem to get going offensively.
Yeah, they're like a 4-day-old soda right now, just flat, Greg. They're missing shots left and right and just not playing their best.
For James. Since the break, he's been simply stellar. He's averaging 30 points, 9 assists, and 8 rebounds. And guys, he can just explode for points anytime he steps on the court.
Well, he looks to score, and he looks to score often.
Now here's Howard. James wide open. Misses off the left eye.
Time for some consideration in the passing category, maybe, Kevin. The shot is just not on. Get somebody else going.
Here's Leonard, and Kawhi Leonard with the slam.
Well, there are some ways to fire up your teammates. That right there is one of them, thanks to Kawhi Leonard.
LeBron outside. And the drought. And it's good on the layup.
Now that's a high percentage look when the D doesn't fight over the screen.
Yeah, the coach over there just asking for one simple thing, and that's some effort. Got burned on that one.
Now here's Zubac. He's got 6, and the foul called on Danny Green. That is his first foul of the game. Morris outside. Six on the shot clock. Outside, George. And again, it's the Clippers from deep.
Paul George ready to shoot as soon as he caught it. Quick release there.
They've been looking at a sink offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
And Davis gets it to go.
Well, that's how you draw it up right there. A screen to shed the defense, a quick move to the bucket, and you get the lay-in.
Everly with the ball. Now Green defending. Here's George. Here's Zubac. fouled in the act of shooting. Gets the bucket anyway, so a three-point play chance for him.
Just a grinder, always doing the dirty work on the offensive glass, and that's one of the things he brings to the table.
The Clippers shooting their 5th attempt at the line in the game.
And typically a strength of theirs, 79% on the season.
What's up?
Right, with offensive rebounding, which players can you count on to create second chance opportunities every game they play?
Well, Giannis in Milwaukee does a pretty good job with his length, grabbing boards and being able to go back in and cause some problems for the defense. Rudy Gobert is always around the rim, both defensively and offensively. DeAndre Jordan did that for years. It will be interesting to see if he could continue that role down there to be a putback and a stick back guy.
I think that's Dwight Howard's favorite play. He loves going up for the hoop. Outstanding chemistry between him and his teammate there.
And George, here we go. And again, the Clippers good for 2.
Just how awesome is it to watch the best of the best start to dominate in a game.
Outside, Green. Paul George with the steal. Beverly wide open. Chance there to push it to double digits, but it's off the mark. They get a hand on it. Stolen by Beverly. Here's Leonard. And then Leonard with the dunk.
Consistent in finding ways at coming up with steals. Patrick Beverly in the shorts of the opposition.
On the wing, James. Defended by... What a jam!
Fans loving that right there.
What a jam!
Nice. And I gotta say, sort of surprising he goes for a slam that difficult when they're trailing.
But still a magnificent move to the rim. George, no good.
I tell you what, the defense should send Christmas cards for that miss.
Kuzma against Leonard. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
Plays with such a fearlessness. Kuzma is terrific at staying engaged and forcing the issue.
Lakers shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the night. First free throw is good. And the Clippers making a change here. Green's checked in. Dion Waiters checked in for the Lakers. Both good from the line that time. Clippers leading by 7. Not watching the line there. That'll be a backcourt violation. Here's LeBron. He's got 6. From deep three-point range, and the last second attempt doesn't fall. And so it's the Los Angeles Clippers bringing the quarter to a close with a 7-point lead. They've set the tone. They love their tempo. They're going to be very tough to stop. We'll return shortly. George had that nasty broken leg back in 2014. He describes what inspired him to come back even stronger.
My inspiration really came from my mother. Her dealing with stroke, her dealing with really being down and out. I saw her fight back that was enough for me in my darkest days. I knew it was nothing to what my mom went through, and she came out perfectly fine. So,
well, what a story. George worked hard to get back and is not disappointed in his return.
You know, recovering from a devastating injury is never easy, but George's perspective and commitment helped him to overcome it.
And for those of you just tuning in, the second quarter of action is where we're at right now. And let's quickly break down the game we've seen so far from the Clippers, guys. What are your thoughts?
Well, one way to generate more offense, pound the offensive glass. That was the difference in the first.
Keep plays alive with your activity. That's what it's about.
So on the floor for the Lakers to start this second quarter, Kyle Kuzma is out there with Davis. Then there's Howard. Then it's LeBron James. And it's Waiters in at the shooting guard. Inside, guarded by Kuzma.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
George against Waiters. Pass to Davis. Good work defensively by Morris. And Morris has got the ball here for the Los Angeles Clippers. Their next game playing at home as the Nets come into town. And that's game 2 of this string of 4 games played at home. Pass to LeBron. Howard with it. Outside, Davis launches it. Connects from three-point range. Davis has got 11 points.
Now the shot's still a work in progress. Anthony Davis has great touch and needs to keep shooting it with confidence.
Well, Dion Waiters, the epitome of a player that can shoot you in or out of a game. Very hit or miss night to night.
Yeah, the thing about Dion is he's got a very short memory, Kevin, so he'll continue to fire it up there and try to make an impact in the game offensively. You're either on Waiters Island where it's full of life on nights where he's hitting it, or it's completely deserted and there's no point in going.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, we know about Lou Williams' story. The 3-time Sixth Man of the Year may be undersized, but he keeps finding angles to score. Williams said, "I can't shoot straight up. I've always played crooked. It's weird, but it's something I've developed, fading away from guys. I have bigger defenders on me, and it's just about creating space." Kevin, even well into his 30s, Lou Will still does it as well as anybody.
I would totally agree, David. He has always done it. Thank you. The Lakers have hit all 4 of their chances so far in this one. And he makes the first. And the GOAT conversation, LeBron has said his motivation is to surpass Michael Jordan as the greatest of all time. Greg, what do you think he needs to do to bolster his case?
I think for the naysayers, the obvious answer is more rings. You look at the other numbers, including those 8 consecutive finals appearances, LeBron is in the discussion.
And both free throws, good for James.
Still playing at an MVP level, LeBron James, the greatest player of his generation, and some would argue of all time. We can't take for granted what we've been able to witness.
Now here's Williams, still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him. Just 4 to shoot. A 3 from Morris. And the rebound goes to Howard. Lakers trail by 4. And now in his mid-30s, LeBron showing no sign of slowing down.
His dedication to training and really maintaining his body, second to none. Alongside his prodigious athleticism, it seems that's made a huge difference.
And the Lakers making a change here. Smith has checked in. Davis, the pass to Smith. off target with his three. Last outing for the Clippers, they won that game against the Warriors.
Well, you look at the points they produced in that game. Great adjustments on the offensive end.
That never stopped working. One of those games where just everybody was making shots, continual flow, and a very professional win.
And again, no good by the Clippers.
Well, mid-range is where he makes the money. So when the D's slow to get out on him, always surprising to see him miss from there.
Clippers leading by 4. Outside Williams. Trying to end the drought. That shot off the mark. And the Lakers will go the other way with it. Smith finds James. Nice ball movement here by the Lakers. Passes it to Howard. Great D that time from Green.
How about the timing he shows there to challenge that shot?
Yeah, not easy to do there, and that's a guy that you can tell takes every possession defensively very seriously.
And he can do a lot more damage to the rim than that when he wants to.
Oh, you're right. And with the lead they're enjoying, I'm surprised he didn't put a little something extra on that one. Now here's Waiters. He's still scoreless so far in this one. Davis kicks to Waiters. 6 to shoot. Over Morris. Waiters no luck. And it's Williams with the ball for the Los Angeles Clippers. With the teardrop. The Lakers with the rebound. Davis has got his 5th rebound in this one. Smith outside. The pass to Davis. Over Williams. And again, no good by the Lakers.
He's going to be shaking his head on that one. Knows he missed an easy one.
Yeah, you can't make them all, and for sure you'll want him taking that kind of shot.
Now here's Leonard. 19 points in the game. Here's Shannon. Boom, he chains it straight down.
Not the kind of aggressive defense they need to cut into the lead.
Yeah, you have to protect the rim, Greg, a little better.
Good job to recognize the opportunity. This is very solid offense.
Davis against Morris. It's good, and the Clipper lead is cut down now to just 6 points with that basket from Davis.
Even though Davis gets bodied just a little bit, he still knocks down the shot right in the defense's face.
Now here's Williams. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. Yep, that one goes in there.
Yeah, 3 consecutive field goals have come right at the rim. The D had better start buckling now.
James, the pass to Smith. His 3-pointers off the mark. Clippers leading by 8. Williams looking over the floor. Lets it go from deep. Rebounded by the Lakers.
Nothing seems to be going down for him today.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Smith dishes to LeBron. Waiters outside, and that's going to be a travel. And here's what the schedule for the Lakers looks like. On Sunday, they'll be matching up with Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets. And then on Monday, they'll be matching up against Mike Conley and the Utah Jazz.
And for that game against the Jazz, I think it's going to be an interesting challenge. Even though they expect to come out on top, this could probably be a pick-em game, depending on how they play.
Williams finds Morris. Dwight Howard pulls it in. Howard's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. And they double up James. That one's good, and the Clipper lead is cut down now to just 6 points with that basket from Smith.
Yeah, the big man, the brow, finding a teammate, and does a great job of seeing somebody that's uncovered.
Now here's Leonard. A 23.
What opened things up for him was his passing. He was making so many plays that the D had to play off him.
and he prefers to have the ball in his hands to break down the defense. Waiters with the explosive drive there.
Pass to Leonard. Over Smith. And it's Leonard missing. Lakers trail by 4. Smith the pass to James. And the dunk by James.
LeBron not messing around. That time in the paint, close to the rim, smelling blood.
The Clippers shooting 48% from the field. Not bad at all. Leonard, that's for 2. And it's Leonard again missing. Lakers have gone 6 of 14 shooting here in the second. And here is James. 10 points for him. Right side Davis. Good, and the assist goes to LeBron. Davis has got it all tied up now for the Lakers.
And this has been a great job of just getting into the middle of that defense and really scoring effectively from the paint.
Now here's Leonard. 19 points in the game over Smith. Leonard, no luck. Guys, this offense very effective.
And guys, the defense has been no match. They just picked them apart, moving it around. 8 of their last 10 coming off assists.
And the Clippers decide to take their first time out here. Anthony Davis really making a difference here.
Yeah, the defense has not provided any threat to stop him out there, so it should come to no surprise that he continues to attack the basket.
For the Clippers, George is checked in for Leonard. Patrick Beverly comes in for Landry Shamet. And Reggie Jackson subbed in for Williams. And the Lakers also making a change. Alex Caruso, he's checked in for Dion Waiters. Now here's Jackson. He's coming off a 16-point game against Golden State. Over in the corner, Beverly. And it's sent back by Howard.
Well, Dwight Howard still makes you think about your shot attempts, easily leaping up to throw that one away.
Great effort and gets in a little razzle-dazzle at the end of that one.
Yeah, why not? Show a little creativity, get inside, move that ball around, just make sure you score.
Now here's Beverly. Still looking for his first bucket in this one. Yes, that goes in.
Yeah, Beverly doing a good job of reading not just his defender, but the secondary defender in that pick and roll.
Here's Davis. Another shot, and Howard with the lay-in. Howard's got the lead up to 4 now for the Lakers.
And they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing the ball into the paint.
Here's George. Dwight Howard pulls it in. Howard's got 7 rebounds in the game.
And we haven't seen them get to the line as much here in the second quarter. They might be settling a tad too much offensively.
Now let's take a moment to see the teams that lead the league in field goal percentage. The Lakers, number 1.
Just tremendously disciplined offensively, always looking for the best possible shot. That's how they've gotten that field goal percentage to skyrocket.
And he knocks down the first one.
No wasted trips at all. They're taking care of business at the line.
Kyle Kuzma's checked in for the Lakers. And both free throws good for Howard.
He's just such a specimen out there, Dwight Howard. A physically imposing presence on both ends of the floor.
The 3 from George. Anthony Davis grabs the miss. Davis has got rebound number 7 for him tonight.
He's cooled down a little bit after draining those 2 3-pointers in the first quarter.
Now here's Davis. And it's the Clippers with the rebound. Green's got 6 rebounds here tonight. The 3 from George. And the 3 ball is good. George has got 15.
And that gets him going here in the second after hitting 2 from long range in that first.
Kuzma outside. Good, and the assist goes to LeBron. LeBron's got his 8th assist here tonight.
And I like the back and forth here, showing confidence from Rain.
It seems like they're going to find out who can make the deepest threes. Right now, it's a shootout.
And hard work on the glass. Once again, guys, they put a lot of effort and focus on the backboard.
It's a 4-second differential between the shot clock and game clock. Kuzma against Jackson. Pass to LeBron. Here's the 3. Good on the triple. And now it's a 9-point Laker lead.
Well, it looks like he's got just one of those good feels tonight. That means trouble for the opponent.
George hacks a 2-pointer, and he was able to put it up in time, but doesn't fall. And so it's LeBron James making things happen for the Los Angeles Lakers. What a quarter that saw them generate a great comeback effort and are now out in front with momentum behind them. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. Here with Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Kentavious, you guys were getting a lot of offensive rebounds in the first half. How important was that?
I mean, that is important, man. We got to keep them off the glass. We can't get them second shot. We got offensive rebounds as well. Get us some second chance at the basket and just keep working hard.
Well, you made it work in the first half, KCP. Thanks a lot. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. And we'll be back after halftime as the third quarter gets underway.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everyone. That was a combination of everybody and everyone. Everyone. Did you catch that?
I got it.
Yeah, Ernie Johnson, Kenny the Jet Smith, Shaquille O'Neal. How about that first half, fellas? The Lakers' first quarter could have gone much better. They tried to get their legs under them and establish at least a little momentum, and at their lowest point in the period, they were facing an 11-point deficit. They completely changed their approach and just dominated the second quarter, now in firm control with a 9-point lead. And taking a look at the Lakers, Shaq, what you think?
The area where they impressed me the most has been on the boards. When the shots going up, everybody goes for it. Just a matter of maintaining that energy, playing with that same kind of aggression in the final 2 quarters.
Hey, Kenny, let's get your thoughts on the Clippers.
Well, the bench was really outscored, and that hurt them. They didn't get any extra spark that sometimes can energize an offense. Instead, the starters had to carry their load, and that's a big reason why they fell behind. The bench almost has to score something in the second half for this team to win.
And that'll about do it as we get ready for the second half. Let's take you down to Kevin Harlan.
Shout out to my man Joel.
Joel, what up?
And happy you could join us. We've got 2 quarters left to go in regulation. Kawhi Leonard really has his fingerprints all over this one.
And guys, we saw just how tough he can be with the step to the rim. Great job of just attacking that first half.
Yeah, nice job of carving his way to the inside with some ease. Not much resistance out there.
And we hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far. We're halfway through the game. Clippers trail by 9. While we've got a moment, let's set the floor. Brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up for the second half. And the Clippers, looking at who they've got. We've got Kawhi Leonard. Paul George is out there with Patrick Beverley. Then it's Marcus Morris. And it's Zubac in at center. And here's Morris for 3. The Lakers with the rebound. James has got his 5th rebound in this one. And LeBron throws it down.
And just tacks a few more points onto their lead with the tomahawk.
That's bringing it down hard. Leonard inside. McGee's there, and it's Leonard missing. Lakers leading by 11. Out of bounds, the Clippers take possession.
A moment here to see the stats for George. He's really producing here second half of the season. He's right around 17 points a night, 3 assists and 4 rebounds. And very few players in the league can go out and produce like he has. Just a great stretch for him.
He keeps playing like this, and you know in arenas, especially at home, when the star player is playing this well, those MVP chants come raining down.
With the shot. That one off the back iron and out.
You take a look at Anthony Davis and his frame and think about his rookie year coming in so thin and moved around a lot by bigger, stronger players in the post. No longer the case, as he's put on a ton of muscle to that frame and continues to grow in the strength area along with his confidence. That's helped him out a lot.
And typically he has the touch to finish when he's in tight, but not sure on that possession.
George, no good.
And the pressure he put on that shot forced the miscue.
Those are all the little things about effort there. He just gets out there and contests, and that's just enough.
And after just one season at Kentucky, the slight build of Davis was a concern in the NBA, and the question was, would his body hold up?
Well, he's answering the question to some degree, Kevin, knowing that it wasn't a one-year process to get stronger and to put on that kind of weight. That just comes with physical maturity. Anthony Davis doing a better job of avoiding places where he might get injured, expanding his game to the perimeter, and hopefully some of those things pay off for his longevity for his career. The team starts the second half missing 4 of 5 shots. When does the coach possibly call a timeout and reiterate what he talked about at halftime?
And didn't do anything fancy there, but didn't need to.
Nope, his only concern right now is getting the points on the board. I don't mean style points. So it's the Lakers now after the Clippers pick up 2.
I love the unselfishness, and you know coaches do as well.
Well, not just coach, but you can see it in the teammates, the way that they look at him. They appreciate it when he shares the ball like that.
Here's Beverly after the basket by the Lakers. Passes to Morris. Dishes it to George. Back to Morris. Launches a 3. Sinks the triple. Morris has got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball.
And this is in Morris's wheelhouse right here. Extremely fluid with the catch and release.
Third quarter of basketball here, and just a little under 3.5 minutes gone by. Caldwell Pope with a wide open look. Good, and the assist goes to LeBron. 8 points for Kentavious Caldwell Pope.
Both teams running perimeter-oriented plays that are working.
Well, both of them looking towards the three-point line, and I like to see that, especially when the results are made buckets.
And boy, he's really in a groove. Dominant performance last game. Same thing this time out.
Seems to be nobody standing in his way. No roadblocks for him to get to his spot, capitalize, and continue to be aggressive. And kind of par for the course here, right? Coming through with a solid offensive game to help them get this lead.
George with the bounce pass. Leonard kicks to Zubac. The pass to Beverly. Some nice ball movement by the Clippers. George dishes to Beverly. Leonard against Caldwell Pope. Takes a shot at the elbow. Rebound the Lakers. They'll host the Denver Nuggets after this one. That game will be a quick pit stop before hitting the road again. And Davis throws it down.
Yeah, we've played this record before as AD is getting on a roll here and carrying his team on the offensive end.
Now here's Beverly. Looking at his point production, he averages almost 8 points a game. Here's Leonard. Connects on the 17-footer. Leonard's got 6 here in this quarter.
Now, what a great option he gives them on every possession.
LeBron passes to Davis. And they double up Davis. Outside, Green. Three-pointer. But they recover it, and it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by McGee. For the Clippers, Andrew Shamet comes in for Marcus Morris. And it's Williams in for Patrick Beverly. The Lakers also with a sub. Morris is checked in. Now George. 18 points for him. Pass to Shamet. He kicks to Leonard. George against Davis. 5 on the clock. George passes to Williams. And they pick up 2. Williams has got his second bucket of the game to go.
When you're a veteran player like Paul George, you understand that even 24 seconds is a long time. Great patience to wait for that play.
Now here's LeBron. He's got 17. And Davis gets it to go.
Such a light touch on that finger roll. Classic move there.
And so it's Williams who brings it up for the Clippers. 8-point game. Leonard on the wing. Leonard draws the double. Here's George. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. That one on Davis.
That straight line drive there from Paul George. You love to see him get in that attack mode. Let's see if he can cash in now at the line.
First free throw is good.
The versatility of Paul George as he's matured and put some more weight on his frame through the years. He's an exceptional two-way player with outstanding length and a tremendous scoring ability.
J.R. Smith's checked in for the Lakers. And George drops them both.
And you can tell he's feeling confident right now at the line, and when he's on, he can be lights out.
On the wing, Green. He's covered by Shamet. Shoots the 3. They get the rebound. Davis. And it's slammed in by Davis.
Phenomenal strength there by AD to take the hit and finish that one.
The Lakers have been at their finest 4 at the free throw line tonight. 8 attempts, 8 makes.
Guys, at this point in his career, Anthony Davis just entering his prime. Crazy to think when you look at what he's already accomplished thus far.
And the Clippers call time here. And we are talking about Anthony Davis. How do you even put into words, Greg, what he's able to do on the basketball floor?
I mean, he's entering the conversation among the best big men of all time. On a nightly basis, dominating in so many facets of the game. Really, it's remarkable.
We get a break in the action, so let's take a look at the West and how the teams are stacking up. Look at the Lakers. Very strong season they've had, always at or near the top of the conference, and right now they're in first place in contention for that, exactly where they want to be as they close in the postseason. And checking out the Clippers, right on their heels and with their sights set on gaining ground.
Yeah, and I think the Clippers, they must have reached every goal they set for themselves this season. For them to be this high in the standings this late in the season, what an accomplishment.
And now they've got a new set of goals, and those are all about success in the playoffs. That's where men are made. They've got to have their sights very high at this point when it comes to the postseason.
Clippers trail by 11. Outside Williams. From about 19 feet. And he gets the friendly spin, and that one drops. Williams has got his third basket of the night. Lakers have gone 8 of 14 on their shot attempts here in the third. Some pretty nice work. Outside, Green. Sinks that one from the post. Green's got the lead up to 11 now for the Lakers.
Don't see it very much, but Green creating some space for himself to finish that one off.
Shamet kicks to Leonard. Back to Shamet. And the foul called on Danny Green. That'll be his second foul of the game. You know, Brent, how candid can players be in their answers in the post-game interviews about what has happened or what they're feeling at that time? In other words, is there a danger to being too honest as a player?
There could be, Kevin. I mean, anytime you express some of your vulnerabilities, and if it's done at the right time, somebody's going to take advantage of it. What we've seen over the past couple years is forget about when it is that the media is asking you questions. Most players are taking it to their social media accounts where they're able to get the message out without being baited by somebody with regards to a question. They can expound on whatever it is that they're feeling at that time, and that helps them to control the messaging a little bit more. And I think that trend is going to continue and continue to grow.
And George gets it to go.
It's easy to understand why Paul George is one of the top scorers in the league. He can read the defense, he can shoot it, he can get inside, and he's riding a hot streak now.
The wide open look here for Kuzma. Here's Davis, and it's Davis finishing it off.
Scraping and clawing, doing everything he can to grow that lead.
Emphatic on the putback stuff.
Now, team's having a tough time containing him, attacking all the way there.
Offensive rebound. Here's Leonard. Great D that time from Davis.
They've shown some strength in the paint today. Their work on the boards has been impressive.
And the basket is good. Got it to go through on the contact, so a free throw coming up. A great opportunity for a three-point play. The Lakers have been exceptional shooting free throws tonight, going 9 for 9. JaMychal Green, he's checked in for the Clippers. Alex Caruso, he's checked in for the Lakers.
What's up?
Free throw drops for Smith.
Pretty evident the kind of player that J.R. Smith is. Really a Wild West gunner. And a guy who can win you games and sometimes put your team in a little bit of a bind if he gets streaky shooting the basketball.
And the Clippers call time here.
And they're allowing too many points in the paint. Coach is going to let them hear about it.
Yeah, coach knows that. They know that. In the timeout, they're going to hear about it, make the adjustment.
Jackson, he's checked in for Williams.
A moment here now to see the numbers for Kawhi Leonard. He's been on a tremendous roll since the All-Star break. 12th in scoring, and he's as opportunistic as anybody defensively, ranking among the top 15 league-wide in steals per game.
And yeah, one of the most dangerous scorers in the game. He's already come up big in some key games this year. His teammates really feed off his presence, I think.
So good, so experienced. Paul George can convert the toughest of buckets.
Here's Caruso. Softly drops in the floater. Caruso's got his second bucket of the night.
When the player gets a feel for that floater, it can really make things tough on defenders. You're just not sure how to guard him and where your point of commitment is.
Now here's Jackson. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. Green, the pass to Leonard. 4 on the shot clock. George trying to break free. And that one's good. Leonard.
And not being as aggressive from the three-point line anymore. They had a lot more attempts in that first half.
Caruso kicks to Smith. Kuzma outside. Loads it up for Davis. Deflects the pass. And that'll be the Lakers as it goes out of bounds. Lakers retain possession.
A split second late, but almost came up with a steal there.
Real close, and I'm sure next time you might time that a little bit better and get a hand on it.
Waiters, he's checked in for Anthony Davis. .143 left in the third. Shot clock at 6. Kuzma passes to Smith. Offline with his 3.
If you told me this was the kind of game he was going to have, I would not have expected them to be in front right now.
Here's Green. Morris with the rebound. Lakers leading by 12. Bounce pass, Smith. 1:15 left in the third. Pass to Kuzma. Morris trying to free himself up. Kuzma can't get it to go. And for the Clippers, they're shooting it quite well in this third quarter, 53%, and the offense is rolling. Leonard with the bucket.
It feels like the other 4 guys have disappeared at this point. He wants to be the one to get them back.
Waiters outside. There's 48 seconds left to play in the third. He trains the turnaround jump shot.
You want to at least honor the mid-range shot. You know that Dion Waiters is hungry to score, but he is capable of heating up.
On the wing, Green. Pass to George. On the wing, Green. Lob pass to George, and it's George finishing it off.
Great timing there. Paul George rising up, collecting the ball, and throwing it down.
Here's Caruso, guarded by Jackson. Caruso, the pass to Kuzma, over Jackson. Green with the rebound. Green's got his 7th rebound here tonight. And Kawhi Leonard with the slam.
He's so dangerous, and he's also efficient with his offensive game. Leonard right now having a tremendous offensive game.
Anthony Davis firing on all cylinders for the Los Angeles Lakers. He comes away with 11 points in the quarter and is showing no signs of fatigue. And we'll be right back after this. And let's take this chance now to show you the State Farm assist of the game.
And the definition of teamwork right there, guys. I mean, what great communication between them, and what a beautiful feat.
The coaches talk about it all the time, but to be able to play with that kind of feel, nice play, collaborating, improvising, and organic.
Fourth quarter of action is upon us. Thanks, as always, for joining us. And on the court for the Lakers to start the fourth. Morris is out there with Kyle Kuzma. Then there's J.R. Smith. Then there's Dion Waiters. And it's Caruso in at the 1.
And thus far, they've managed to overcome an off game from him offensively.
And George gets it to go.
Well, when Paul George has that kind of length and then has the high release point that he does, very few people are going to get to it to block a mid-range jumper like that.
Here's Caruso. It's stolen by Green. And oh, here we go with George. Nobody back. And it's Paul George with the finish.
Paul George dunk contest? Maybe a little older, but I love to see him get up.
Caruso looking for an opening. Waiters outside. Shoots. Morris with the rebound. Morris has got 7 rebounds in the game. Here's Leonard, and the call on the shot that sends him to the line. J.R. Smith picks one up.
And the defender was slow reacting, didn't fully account for Kawhi's quickness. Slow played him and gets to the free throw line.
The first one falls. Some changes for the Lakers. JaVale McGee's checked in for Morris. And it's Caldwell Pope in for Smith. That one falls, so he hits both of them.
This is as good as it gets from the charity stripe here in the second.
Waiters with the ball. Goes up at the stripe. And again, no good by the Lakers. The Clippers trail. And they have certainly been looking locked in offensively.
They sure have. Staying aggressive and playing under control.
Here's Jackson on the pass to Leonard. That's good, and it's Jackson with the assist that time. Leonard's got the game tied up here for the Clippers. The Lakers have gone all through to start the fourth quarter. Last quarter of play, about 2 minutes in now. They get it again. Pass to McGee. Lock at 6. Pass to Caldwell Pope. And he overshot that one, missing. On offense, here are the Clippers. It's been 8 unanswered points for him. Raiders against George. Inside. And it's Leonard. That time on an assist by George. George has got 6 assists in the game. Timeout called the Lakers.
Giving up a run here. Can they turn it around?
Hard to say right now. At this point, I've seen the coaches run through 2 or 3 iterations of defense. Is there a fourth? I'm not sure.
Clippers making a change here. Beverly's checked in, and the Lakers also making a change. Green, he's checked in for Waiters. All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Thanks, guys. I was able to hear Frank Vogel talk to his team during the break. He said, guys, we don't want to play hero ball. We don't want to take threes that aren't there. There are better options when you run the offense all the way through. Kevin, we'll see if they can make that adjustment.
Now here's Green. Here's McGee. And there's 2 points. Working on the glass, paying off that time.
And with those points, he puts an end to that 10-0 run by the Clippers.
Leonard attacking. Rebound the Lakers. McGee's got 9 rebounds in the game. Getting it done. Caruso, the pass to Caldwell Pope. Passes it to Caruso. Looking for McGee. He gets it there. From outside the arc. Green, no luck. And it's Leonard with the ball. He'll bring it up for the Clippers. A great fourth quarter. Just giving up 2 points.
Well, once Paul George gets in that deep, get out of the way. He's coming right at you.
And the Lakers with possession here. The Clippers getting the bucket. And here's McGee. Caldwell Pope for three. Gets the three-pointer to fall. And the Lakers lead by one.
Well, he just nailed his second three of the half, guys. I'd be very aware of that if I were the defense right now.
The pass to Green. Back to Beverly. Here's Morris. Clippers moving the ball around. The Clippers need to get off a shot. And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline. And out of bounds as the Clippers gain possession. Zubac is checked in for the Clippers. And the Lakers also making a change. James is checked in. And here are the Clippers now. Outside Leonard. Leonard draws the double. Pass to Zubac. This one for three. The shot, no good. And the Lakers going the other way now. Green against Zubac. Green kicks to LeBron. To the inside. McGee. And it's McGee with the jam. And he's now got the double-double. 10 points and 10 rebounds.
And he's an automatic finisher when he gets into that area.
He is, and he picks the simple one-hand stuff to get the 2 points. Count it, and the Laker lead has been cut to just 1 point and the basket from Paul George.
It's just what the doctor ordered here. Boy, have they needed him here in the fourth.
James against Beverly. Kuzma. And the Lakers get it back.
And I just love how he's banging down low. His hard work will let them use some more of the clock here.
And Morris throws it down.
And the thing about Morris, doesn't have the big vertical, but tenacious once he gets around the rim.
James looking around. Pass to Green. To the paint. Here's McGee. Good. And it's Green picking up the assist. 12 points for JaVale McGee.
Wow, has he flipped the switch at halftime. Much more effective here in the second half.
James against Beverly. Six to shoot. In the corner, it's Morris. And again, the Clippers good for 2.
And the scoring versatility of Morris, one of his best attributes, able to beat you in a number of ways.
Green dishes to James. Kuzma inside, covered by Morris. It's held in by Zubac. The Clippers in the lead. And Leonard has it in the corner. Makes it off the glass. Leonard's got 39.
And a nice spark for their offense here in the second half. Now above 50% for the game.
Stolen by George. And here we go. George heads. Oh!
Just Paul George showing how dominant he can be as a two-way player.
Lakers trail by 5. Outside, Green. Back to LeBron. On the wing, Green. That 3 off the mark. Now the Clippers with it. Great offensive performance they're putting on.
And guys, we call that the zone because that's where they are right now. They are in a zone, and I'm sure they feel unstoppable.
Passes to LeBron. Over Beverly. And again, the Lakers no good. Clippers leading by 7. Here's Leonard. The shot's good on the assist by George. George has got his 7th assist of the game with that last one. The Lakers shooting 47%, pretty solid. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
LeBron with it. Guarded now by Morris. The drive by James.
LeBron exploiting the defense once again, knowing when to slash and gets himself to the rim.
Kuzma against Beverly. There's the pass to Morris. A three-pointer is right on target. Morris has got 10 points here in the second half.
A tough first half, but it's been a different story here since the break.
LeBron passes to Kuzma, and the slam dunk by McGee.
And maybe that'll trigger them. Impossible not to get pumped up after that.
Yeah, well, you could see the immediate reaction of the guys on the bench. They are pumped up. Now, here's Beverly. Pass to Zubac. Kicks it to Leonard. Leonard draws the double. Just 5 on the clock. Morris, no good.
Well, in the rebounding game, at least, it's been a strong physical performance for him.
Pass to Kuzma. The feed to Green. McGee trying to break free. Green, no luck.
This feels like it's snowballed a little bit on them. The more he tries to shoot his way out of this slump, the worse it seems to get. They need him to get it together.
And it's Leonard missing. And here's James. He'll bring it up for the Lakers. If it counts, LeBron's got 4 points now in the quarter.
Just a masterful offensive player, utilizing that pick with great intelligence there.
Passes it to Leonard. Over Caldwell Pope. And the Clippers miss again. Lakers trail by 6. And there's the pass to McGee. James against Zubac. Here's Green. And it's the Clippers with the rebound.
And when you can't get anything to fall, it definitely gets in your head.
Especially if you're a player that doesn't get a lot of shot attempts. But otherwise, the mindset is, I just got to get the next one to go. And you don't want to put that much pressure on yourself.
Here's LeBron. Kawhi Leonard making his last shot. From the line, yep, it goes. And the Clipper lead is cut down to just 6 points with the basket from James.
Well, LeBron James lives for the big moment. Another one there.
And a bit of a battle here for the ball. The official signals a jump ball here. And here are the Clippers now. Now here's Leonard. Pass to Beverly from the arc. No good that time. So the Lakers will take it the other way. Here's James. Feeds to McGee. And again, another assist.
That makes 15 assists.
He's been one step ahead of the defense all game long. Leonard against Caldwell Pope. And stolen by Kuzma. 29 seconds left in the game. The 3 from LeBron. The Lakers keeping it going. A new 14-second shot clock.
You know, altered shots don't show up on the official stat sheet, but as we saw there, he does a great job of doing that as well as collecting the rebound.
He had to foul, and on that occasion to stop the clock. That's the enemy in this situation.
And they go to the intentional foul. And he misses the first one. Boy, he wanted that one to fall.
I think Patrick Beverly, for the entirety of his NBA career, is really going to embrace the role of being the villain. Has no problem with it whatsoever.
So he comes up empty, missing both.
Can't waste any time here.
Well, it's probably a little bit too late here, but you really need to score a bucket here to stay alive.
And now an intentional foul. They need the ball back as soon as possible. drops the first one, and that puts them up by 5. Second one is good, and both at the line. It's a 6-point ball game.
Yeah, I think that's a wrap, and I can tell you, you can't have more pressure-packed free throws than the ones that are going to seal the game.
Timeout called the Lakers. They're trailing by 6. 7 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Guys, what do you think?
There's still a sliver of hope.
Yeah, act fast, but without mistakes.
Chance now to recognize our Jordan player of the game, Paul George.
And his performance has been a jaw-dropper. He must have been feeling great coming into the building tonight, because once he hit the court, it was all working for him. He was in a zone.
Seven seconds left in the fourth quarter. And again, the Lakers no good.
Hey, guys, you've heard of overpassing. The last shot was an example of underpassing.
Maybe they could find a way to establish some rhythm in the next few possessions with the extra pass.
So the Clippers with the win. It was a fantastic ball game, and they did a great job making sure it didn't get away from them late.
Yeah, I mean, they faced some challenges, but really held firm when they needed to. On both ends, it's just effective in terms of coming away with this win.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks very much, Paul. Congrats on the win. Where is your team's attitude right now?
Continue to play together, and we can just stick to that, keep working, staying confident, keep defending, and knocking shots down. We'll be all right.
Looked like it all came together tonight, Paul. Thanks very much. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. So for David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, Brett.
Live ka pagtaas mo dyan.